In the bustling crossroads of the blog era, where mixtape monarchs were crowned by clicks and comment sections, one artist stood at the center of a rising digital storm. His pen was sharp, his cadence was nimble, and his ambition was loud enough to echo from DC to the far corners of the internet. But somewhere between More About Nothing and the Maybach music chain, the conversation shifted, the spotlight tilted, and the rapper once hailed as a future great found himself fighting for the same respect handed freely to his peers. Tonight, two veteran investigators of hip-hop history step into the studio courtroom to reopen this case. First Class Regg, meticulous, uncompromising, the blog era's unofficial archivist. Taurian B, passionate, analytical, forever chasing the truth behind the track list. Their assignment, dissect Wale's sophomore album Ambition, a defining moment in 2011 forged in pressure, promise, and the hunger to prove he belonged alongside Drake, Kendrick Lamar, J. Cole, Future, and Travis Scott. But was Wale unfairly overlooked? Did the culture move the goalposts? Or did his career path carve a parallel lane the public never valued properly? These are the questions. These are the records they'll examine. These are their stories. Dun dun.
Welcome to another episode of Rap in Order. I'm First Class Regg.
And I'm Taurian B.
And happy holidays.
Yes, the holidays are upon us.
Bro, the way this year flew, it's crazy.
Tell me about it. I've been a dad for a year.
Yeah, man. By the time you guys get this episode, we'll be
a week away from Mav's birthday.
Yeah, from Mav's first birthday, which, man, bro, it's insane. Thanksgiving I was over here.
Mm-hmm.
Thanksgiving ate good. Taurian, traditionally always chefs it up.
Try.
So that was good. What else has been going on?
What else has been going on? Okay. I guess the most popular thing is going on. Let's just rip the Band-Aid off. The Diddy documentary.
Yeah. I watched it twice.
Oh wow. Okay. I'm big on YouTube, so a lot of these stories I've already heard, and because my parents and some relatives are adjacent to Puff or some of his associates. All right, quick story. So I met Mark Curry in 2004.
Okay.
At Justin's in Atlanta, at Puff's restaurant. My dad used to work security at Justin's, and my dad was like, "Yo, that's Mark Curry," and I was like, "Mark Curry?" I'm like, "The comedian?" And he was like, "No," but I'm thinking about his name is Mark Curry.
Mark Curry, yeah.
Right. So I'm thinking about hanging with Mr. Cooper, and he was like, "No, Mark Curry. He signed the Bad Boy," and then I forgot that he's the random light skinned nigga in the "We Ain't Going Nowhere" Bad Boy for Life song.
Yeah, he was
right?
He had the last verse.
Right. Mm-hmm. So and my dad was like, and then he also wrote that song for Puff with the Godzilla soundtrack. And it's funny because I think I'm the only person on the planet that even likes that song.
I like that song.
Right?
Because I thought the video was cool.
Right. So long story short, as I'm sitting there, right, and I'm an impressionable kid, I'm like, oh wow, this is really cool. I listened to this man talk about how Puff is a piece of shit in Puff's establishment at Justin's.
Oh, he was there talking about it.
Talking about not obviously not this, but basically saying how he was going to write a book and how Puff owed him money and explaining that he's been around how long he's been signed to Bad Boy and stuff like that. So I'm a kid, so I just got nosy. So I'm at my dad's job because I came to see him. My dad's working the door. I don't have anything to do. I can't drink alcohol, so I'm just there. I got my free food because he worked at Justin. So I just listened to this nigga talk about Puff the entire fucking night. Bro, I was fucking mind blown. I was like, yo, this nigga's freely talking about this nigga in his restaurant. Right?
Damn, what year was Bad Boy for Life? That was
Bad Boy for Life 2002.
Yeah.
So it was just funny because I was just like, damn, I thought I knew the Locks was mad shit. But I didn't know this was a recurring thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I say all that to say, I've had a fascination with learning things about Puff since I was younger. So, knowing that the Kurt Burrows story, I actually knew that story. I also knew the Tim Dog story. I think that there was a lot of things that got glossed over. in the story, and a lot of people that were like involved in his life. But I get it. Like they just wanted to just get straight to the bottom line of what the story was.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that and then some people probably weren't willing to talk about.
Yeah, I would have loved if Mace was in there in some way, or if they just showed. They could have showed like some old Mace stuff of Mace not getting along with him.
Yeah.
Remember when Mace rushed the station and was like, "Yo, get me out my contract, get me out my shit, just sign this."
Yeah.
I felt like that could have been included.
I don't think Mace would have done the. I don't think Mace likes how he's been, the way it was brought about, this documentary for 50. So I don't think Mace would have done that, but I definitely think that Mace thinks all of this shit is hilarious.
Yeah, for sure. And I think he's gonna find his own way to address it. Cause it's the elephant in the room right now.
Yeah.
I think he's gonna find a way to address it on his show with Cam.
Yeah. You know, a lot of the women that told their stories, like I felt really bad for Aubrey O'Day. The first woman that told her story, that worked with him, you know, hearing like, you know, what his first baby mother had to deal with Misa, and like what she still did.
Clark.
Yeah, Capricorn Clark. And it's crazy because I didn't realize that like up until like he got arrested, him and KK, the other young lady that testified against him, pretty much were in contact. Like she was literally helping him, trying to help him figure out stuff for the trial.
Oh, interesting. So even I was wondering too, remember when he was on the phone with his current girlfriend at the time?
Yeah.
And he was like, "Yo, I'm about to go deposit this check." Like, I wonder where she is. Like, what's her whereabouts?
I just think that's crazy because that's another thing. Like I understand that like when you got like a ridiculous amount of money, like there's things that like women will tolerate. But like, do you realize that like pretty much like Kim Porter has been around through like multiple women? J-Lo.
Yeah, all of them.
Like all of them, right? J-Lo, Cassie, Young Miami. Like she's always kind of like been, well, no, she passed away before Young Miami. But like she's always been like the constant, and like he always goes back to her. Like they have children together and stuff like that throughout all these times. And then like you hear the story that like they had, so I've heard this story before about how Puff got like addicted to painkillers. They had a fight, and the story that I understand from Gene Dealers is that she was like a screwdriver to like jamming into his wrist basically to get him to stop fucking with her. And so like, you know, like basically had like almost like killed him. So that's how you get on painkillers, and it's unfortunate that usually will happen to celebrities. Like he drank, but he was never like a drug abuser. And like,
it was great. It was just funny, like learning that early on, he didn't drink and he didn't indulge in none of that stuff, smoking, none of that shit. And something like that was what kind of pushed him over the edge.
Yeah. My mom told me the reason why he's called Puff Daddy is not, but I always thought he was called Puff Daddy because of weed. When he was called Puff Daddy, because when he was his temper, when he was a kid, he would get mad, he would like puff up at people and shit like that. I was like, that's hilarious. Well, they call him Puffy, not Puff Daddy. He changed it to Puff Daddy, but I think that's mad funny though. Like, I'm thinking like, damn, like, you know, like his name is, like, he must smoke a lot of weed.
I never even, when I was a kid, I never thought about why that was his name. It was just like, that's his name. And then the East Coast, West Coast thing, and, you know, the lure around Diddy, like, this documentary was so well put together because it took shit that we already knew, but the way that it put it together to tell a story was what I really liked about it, because it was like, damn, like controversy has really followed this dude, and he's been able
his
to
entire career
bury it along the way, just bury it, and then come out and be like the good guy. Because even when I was a kid, I remember the Source Awards, and I remember Suge saying what he said, and I remember Puff saying what he said when Puff was like, yo, like, we're just young, black, successful. We're not targeting Suge, this and that. We're not about that. And when I was a kid, I was like, see, that's cool. You know what I'm saying? Like, he called it out. Like, yo, nah. And I believed him back then. He was like...
Hove. Puff is fucking Lex Luthor, bro.
Yeah, I believed him. Because he was like, yo, nah, we're not about that. And I didn't see them as being about that. Yeah. And I didn't realize...
Yeah, because all he, like, you think, like, niggas is dancing and shit like that. Come to find out, Puff is making phone calls to get niggas murdered.
Yeah. and the way Mark Curry tied back when they played that one song, when they did that song in 98. When he was like, yo, I put $1 million on your head, nigga. Yeah. It's like,
you talking about that mixtape? Yeah. So... I wish to God that I still had I had that shit on the CD, yeah, because it came out on cassette, but I dubbed it onto a CD player because it was a Bad Boy mixtape. And like, yeah, he was talking crazy.
And he was like, yeah, I put $1 million on your head. And Mark was like, yo, what is he talking about? What is he talking? And that was like a couple years after Pac died. So, and then learning about,
because I believe that came out right. So when he recorded that, it was before Pac died, and then like Puff told the DJ like, "Yo, kill that." But because it was a mixtape, like it wasn't something that was put on it couldn't go on the radio anyway because it was niggas freestyling over other songs. So like Puff was like, "Yeah, I'm not promoting that no more. Like don't talk about that. Like this man's gone now." But that happened with a lot of rappers. Jay-Z had a diss for Pac too, and then he died. So like a lot of niggas like just like said, "Don't put this out. Like it's distasteful."
Yeah,
but. Seeing how like they were able to tell the story and then rope together like how he might have been involved in this person, involved in Pac's death and Biggie's death. Like I was like, wow, this is very good storytelling.
Yeah,
because I've watched documentaries on people like solving the murders and everything like that, and like everybody has like these different theories, and I think it's pretty interesting. Like where like some people were like, "Yo, it was just like for Pac, it was just gang retaliation." For Biggie, like this just was they were just mad that he was on the West Coast. But in this documentary, it basically was just like it's Puff's fault.
Yeah, and it was like, yo, like why the fuck would you think that Big would even want to be out there? Because he didn't want to be out there.
Right.
Even like that video, they play it all the time where he's like, I'm scared for my life. I feel like somebody's trying to get me. I feel like somebody's trying to kill me.
Right.
All of that shit is linear. Like it's
right.
That's how he felt.
And there's things that without a shadow of a doubt happened that night. Security, like he didn't want to go to the after party. Apparently, his best friend D-Rock is the person who convinced him to go. He was supposed to go overseas to promote his album because everyone knew that his album was going to be a big deal.
That's what Burroughs was working on.
Right. So he was supposed to go overseas and like do press for the album and like do like a Tim Westwood freestyle, all of that good shit. And, Puff was like, nah, just stay here. We partying, nigga. And like, there was no reason for Biggie to be there.
Yeah.
Like he was already a star in the United States. Like, why wouldn't you want you're right. Why wouldn't you want your cornerstone artist to go overseas and like do that? So like, I can understand how a person could be like, yeah, that was a setup. He killed Biggie, because he wanted to get this.
I was wondering, where's D-Rock now though?
D-Rock, he was working as Puff security, bro.
Yeah.
Like that, like, so for me, I'll be honest with you. I don't want to be speculative, but like that kind of like don't sit well with me. Like in my head, I was like, how would like, and you want to know what? I'm pretty sure like they've all had conversations and just be like, yo, that's crazy that they trying to accuse you of killing Big, Puff. Like, we know you love Puff. Like, but also I still would look at it sideways. Like, yo, like, why did you want him to stay so bad? Like, why didn't you like, you said you loved him so much. Why didn't it cross your mind that something could happen to him out here or whatever? And then, so listening to the Joe Budden podcast, like when they were talking about this, right, it made me think about this. Is it really like, even though like it was like Biggie's estate, Wayne Burrow, who runs Biggie's estate and represents Biggie's mother, said that Biggie didn't pay for his own funeral, Bad Boy did. When you die, you pay for your own funeral anyway.
Yeah. But I think what they meant is that the way they framed it in the doc was that Puff set out to do it and he wanted to do it in like a major fashion. So he had everybody coming, but then he looked at the bill and what they were accumulating and was like, all right, well, he's gonna pay for this on the back end, but it's like essentially like his estate is paying for it. And it's all gonna get back, like they're gonna get the money.
Like basically, like it's not hurting Puff's pocket.
Yeah.
And I guess to me, like I didn't look at like when I heard that. I guess I'm so much of a Puff fan, and I think like watchers, listeners, if you know me, like I kind of like when I'm really into something, I really like deep dive. So for Puff, like it didn't surprise me that like he did that because like he's frugal when it comes to things that don't really benefit him. So I kind of like when they said that, I was like, I mean, Puff, Biggie should have had life insurance anyway. So I'm pretty sure like that was fun. I'm almost positive that they took out a life insurance policy on Biggie before he died anyway.
Do you think so?
Yeah, of course. Like
it was 25?
Yeah, 25. But like when you're a recording artist and like I feel like record labels do that anyway. They take out life insurance policies on artists. Like and sometimes the artists don't know.
I could see that. Hopefully if his shit was together at that time, then yeah.
Yeah, I mean, who knows? But But all in all, I think that this documentary is probably gonna win a bunch of awards, just like how like the R. Kelly one did.
Yeah, I hope that it wins. I think the only thing that would stop it from winning is probably 50 himself, which is how he's carrying on in some of the interviews and stuff. Because right now, a focal point is like, oh, you're just being petty, and he has to keep dispelling that in interviews.
Yeah, I think there's a deeper, darker criminal link. A lot of people tie it just to his son's mother,
Yeah,
Daphne Joy. But I also forgot that Puff had well, it's rumored that Puff had issues with his former manager Chris Lighty, who he looked at like a family member. So like, you know, it's a lot more deeper than that. But like
people looked at Andre Harrell. People looking at Andre Harrell a little different now too, from this. Like that he could have probably had something with Diddy. I saw some people talking about that.
People said that my whole life. My whole life, people always said Andre Harrell and Russell Simmons were gay. And I just be like, I mean,
yeah, heard that.
So next up, I wanted to talk about this whole Netflix buying Warner Brothers thing. Right? So me being working, like being in the Screen Actors Guild and like hearing like what a lot of people have to say, they're not happy about it. For especially like for writers and for filmmakers, because one, it kind of monopolizes the market as far as like negotiating, like, hey, I want to sell my script to like this major, you know, film studio, but if this film studio pretty much houses you know, almost 80% of all of the offices that I can go to, how is it helping me? And then also a lot of people are scared that like Netflix is going to, like, just like how Netflix put Blockbuster out of business, they're going to put the movie theaters out of business. So like that's something that like I had to like really like take in and just be like, wow, that's realistic.
What's your thoughts on it, especially as somebody that's like in that industry?
I want to see like how further it goes, because it's like I don't know if, I guess like I got to see like how our contracts get negotiated, because based on like something being theatrical or being on streaming or whatever like that, might pay us more or less money. It might fucking benefit us. It might make us fucking more money. So it's like, to me, like I just would like to like understand like the bottom line. Like I understand for writers why it fucks them, but I would like to know like for actors, how does it affect us?
Yeah, okay, so that's a good call out, because what I was gonna say too is along those lines. I think I do want to see more. I don't want to automatically assume that it'd be bad. I mean, I still love going to the movie theaters. I think right now what we're moving toward is like, for example, like the biggest movies. I mean, One Battle After Another did pretty well. Sinners did pretty well, but they didn't have that long at the movies. I think the longest that a movie stays in the theaters now is 3 months.
No, weeks.
Well, no, successful movies.
Oh,
like
successful. Okay.
Sinners, Sinners was in there for at least 3 months.
Okay,
and still, it came out of theaters in 3 months.
Okay,
so like it was successful, but came out at that time. You know, when we was kids, you know, it stayed, especially a good successful movie.
Titanic, remember, nigga, Titanic stayed in the movies for almost a year.
Yeah. And that's because also on the supply and demand part of it, it's like, oh, niggas are still seeing this. We got to keep this in there. And it gives them more time to print out and make the physical media that's going to be going home with these people. And back then, Titanic was two movies long, two cassettes long.
Titanic was so big that The Man in the Iron Mask came out after that, a movie that I actually enjoyed that. Like, I think because, you know, it had action in it. But The Man in the Iron Mask, I absolutely enjoyed 10 times more.
Yeah.
But because Titanic did so well, when the tickets were sold out for Titanic, people were going to see that movie just for that reason.
Yeah. Just to see a Leo movie.
Yeah, just to see Leo. He was that big, bro.
Crazy. So like, a lot of people are blaming it on Netflix, and I think it's just the way of where media is right now, and they're just keeping up with it. Like, sure, they help shape it, but it's also just the way people are consuming things. People binge now. It's like, you know, I think it's just like, all right, word, y'all like this, and they're just hyper fixated on that.
Okay.
You know, I mean, it's scary that they own a lot of shit now,
bro. Like, think about this. Like, on certain levels, like, okay, my other question, right? Does that mean HBO Max, like, do all these streaming services, do they just go to Netflix?
So from what I understand and what I read in the agreement is that HBO, that's still going to be its own app, but I think it's still going to have some type of existence on Netflix. It's kind of like how Disney Plus, if you notice, because we'll talk about this trailer later too, the Paradise and everything. I was watching the Paradise trailer the other day, and I noticed in the top right corner, it says Hulu on Disney Plus now. It don't just say Disney Plus or it don't just say Hulu. Top right corner, it says Hulu and Disney Plus. And I'm like, why the fuck? This is crazy. Like, because it was a Hulu original series.
Yeah, bro, it's too much.
So like now everybody is kind of merging together and it's like, well, where are you all gonna exist? But at the same time, if I go on Disney Plus, I can watch Paradise.
Right.
If I go on Hulu, I can watch it.
Right.
You know.
I see what you're saying.
They're just in the middle of a conversion.
Yeah, it's just too much. It's too confusing. Sometimes I miss cable.
Yeah, same.
My old ass.
My mom still has cable.
I still have cable too.
Yeah.
Because like, we're recording on a Sunday, but for you guys, I'm sacrificing watching football to record.
There you go.
Okay. So let's move on from that. Your Detroit Pistons are playing very well.
Yeah.
I remember you used to be a Bulls fan.
Pistons won again.
I remember you was a Bulls fan.
I was a Bulls fan. I was a Derrick Rose fan.
Okay. I'm fucking with you.
Yeah, I was a Derrick Rose fan. I like Derrick Rose. And at the time, the Pistons, Pistons weren't doing so well. Pistons had a lot of years where we just weren't doing well. And I think right now, the Pistons, the Lions, the Tigers, like doing pretty well. So the city in general is doing really well. And I'm gonna be there at the end of the month, and we have a fucking RoboCop statue that I'm gonna go see. That shit is crazy.
That's crazy. Yeah. Detroit, Cade Cunningham is really him. I remember when he came into the draft, it was either him or Jalen Green, and Cade Cunningham definitely won. That one I like Cade Cunningham a lot. My Lakers are doing good right now. I'm very worried about LeBron. I just saw an image where like LeBron is walking around with one shoe on and then he has on like a sandal. That's sciatica.
He needs foot surgery. He's needed foot surgery for some time.
Bro, like like thinking about I don't. This is what happens when like you have a career as long as he's had, but it's crazy because it's like, what happened to all that $1 million spent on your body shit, LeBron? You motherfucker. Like, get it together, man. This is our shot to get a chip this year, man, and you fucking it up.
Yeah.
Like, so yeah, I'm a little perturbed with LeBron because I'm just like, yo, man, like, what happened to that $1 million a year you spend on your body in the off season, bitch?
Yeah, he never confirmed the number himself. But it's been widely reported that he spends at least $1 million on his body. Have
you heard that teams are vying for Giannis Antetokounmpo's services?
What's the top team?
He picked two major markets, obviously New York and LA. OKC, the number one team in the NBA, probably has if I'm Milwaukee, probably has like the best bang for their buck because they have like a lot of first round draft picks from really bad teams. So we'll see. I think that it would be nice if he can come to the Lakers and we can pretty much get him for like next to nothing. Like we can keep like our like core main starters. But I mean, I don't think like a lot of teams want to see the Lakers succeed. So I don't think Giannis is going to come to the Lakers.
Yeah. But I think right now they're trying to. I think the league is more of a young man's game now.
Oh, absolutely.
Than it's been in a while.
Yeah.
So that's why even. And people are still getting adjusted to seeing that. That's why, like, even last year, the finals, the viewership wasn't that high, but I feel like it was a very entertaining finals basketball-wise.
It was. I think it's just people getting used to the new guard of stars.
Yeah.
I think that, like, when I remember, like, because of my age, like, the last time I remember, like, the guard changing was 99 to 2000. So that was 98 Jordan retired.
Yeah.
And then like that was when like Iverson,
I was gonna say
Vince Carter, Kobe, like those guys started becoming like the faces of the league and becoming like the new guard of the NBA. Like that era.
Finals with the Lakers.
Right.
Yeah.
So I think that was like the last time that I remember that. And like, everybody was comparing it to the 90s and like, what it was like in the 80s and shit. So I'm curious to see like who comes out like on top, because a lot of people that are like we hitched our wagons to, like Zion Williamson, John Morant, like they just aren't panning out the way that we thought that they would.
Well, I think people are enjoying Halliburton. He's entertaining.
Okay.
He's young.
He is. He's a he's a fellow wrestling fan.
Yeah. So like he enjoys the whole heel thing right now.
Mm-hmm.
That nigga rushed into surgery, which was great.
Yeah. He went to surgery the next day. So did and so did Tatum.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just curious to see like how, you know, the next crop of young NBA talent like goes into like leading things and stuff like that. But
because we got some people that are like really bubbling right now. You know, Anthony Edwards.
Yeah, Ant-Man.
I think Ja Morant has been kind of just like stiff armed. A lot of niggas,
and he can't stay healthy.
Yeah, it's just not looking.
He talks way too much shit to kind of like be
on the bench.
On the bench as much.
Yeah.
But let's see. Okay, next thing I want to talk to you about. Let's talk about your Apple Music replay.
Yeah, let's pull it up in real time.
All right, cool. So, I'm gonna get mine up too.
All right, let's see what we got here. All right, so what you want to start with? Top artists?
Yeah.
All right, so my top artists, I'll start. Well, let's do top 10, right?
Yeah.
All right, so number 10 for me was Kendrick Lamar. And then number 9 was Malice. So that's the thing they did with Clips too, right? Because they grouped them all as separate artists. So number 9 is Malice, number 8 is Pusha, number 7 is Clips. It just makes no sense. And then number 6 was Westside Gunn. Number 5 was Drake, because he's like on my workout playlist a lot. Number 4 is 2 Chainz. Number 3 is Freddie Gibbs. Number 2, Larry June. Number 1 was Alchemist.
All right, so I'll go through mine real quick. Number 10 most listened to artist was Lil Wayne. Number 9 was Kanye West. 8 was Freddie Gibbs. 7 was Jay-Z. 6 was Malice. 5 was The Alchemist. 4 was Kendrick Lamar. 3 was The Clips. 2 was Drizzy Drake. And 1 was Pusha T.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That's a big jump between Malice and Pusha on yours. I'm surprised.
Because I guess like I was only listening to Let God Sort Them Out.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So that would just make with Malice, right? In Malice's verse.
Yeah.
But I go back to My Name Is My Name and then Daytona a lot. And Daytona is such a quick listen. Like Daytona's like, oh man, it's great. So I listen to like Daytona is a weekly listen for me.
Okay. Okay.
Like, I love that album very much. But those were my top artists.
All right, so top albums, I got number 10, I got Hills Have Eyes 2. Number 9, I got Rochelle Jordan, Through the Wall. Really, really great album. Number 8, I got Daniel Caesar, Son of Spurgie. Number 7, Larry June and Cardo, Until Night Comes. Number 6 is Salt, The Acts of Faith. Number 5, Glockavelli, Key Glock. Number 4, Cal Banks, for that Rada album. Number 3, Let God Sort Them Out. Number 2, Life is Beautiful, Larry June, 2 Chainz and the Alchemist. And number 1 is Alfredo 2, Freddie Gibbs.
Okay, I was a little similar. So number 10 for me is Hills Have Eyes 2. Number 9 is The Last One.
The last one, who's that?
Gunna.
Okay. Oh, 1. Okay.
Yeah. We have 1 with a W. Number 8 is Reasonable Drought by Stove God Cooks and Rock Marciano. I think that's because I really wanted to make sure I got the album for that episode that we did. Yeah. Number 7 is Am I the Drama by Cardi. Number 6 is Kiari by Offset. I really enjoyed that album this year. SOS Deluxe Lana by SZA. Nice. Number 5. GNX number 4 by Kendrick Lamar. I Am Music by Playboi Carti is number 3 for me.
Wow. You really fuck with that one, huh?
So you want to know what's funny? Remember when we did like our half year albums of the year?
Yeah, halfway. And then you did 60-second verdict.
Yeah,
on it too.
Yeah, and so I don't know if you remember. Like I went back and watched it, and you were shocked then when I was like, "Yo, I Am Music." Like I kind of get it.
Okay,
right. And then number 2 is Let God Sort Them Out, and then number 1 is Alfredo 2.
Interesting. Okay. Yeah, I listen to Alfredo 2 a lot.
Yeah. All right. So while we're here, are you prepared to list off your top 5 albums of the year?
I mean, if we're going by this, right?
No, I don't think this counts. You
don't think this counts?
No.
All right. So, so I can go with Alfredo 2, Life is Beautiful, Let God Sort Him Out. Damn, that's where it gets.
That's where it gets choppy.
Those three are in there for sure.
Okay.
Let me see. What you got yours?
I do have mine. I actually do. Am I gonna put this in order? All right, so my top 5 rap albums from 2025 go like this. Starting at number 5 is Starline by Chance the Rapper. Great comeback album.
Mm-hmm.
Cabin in the Sky. Like, I think that like what De La Soul did with this project via Mass Appeal was amazing.
Mm-hmm.
For them being hip hop legends and still being able to like rap at this level, I really appreciated it. Like, you know, I know this is a recent album, but like I really I'm really into it. Number 3 is God Does Like Ugly by JID. Yeah, I really enjoyed that project too. Number 2 for me is Alfredo 2, and number 1 is Let God Sort Him Out.
Okay.
So that's like how I rounded it out. And like while Rez double checks his, I'll just give you also my honorable mentions.
Mm-hmm.
Heels Have Eyes 2, Balloonerism by Mac Miller, 12 by West Side Gun, and I Am Music by my man Playboy Cardi.
Okay, so I think
that was it.
Okay, so Hills Have Eyes 2 is definitely in there for me.
Okay.
I think, yeah. So that's 4. And then 5. That's tough, man. You know what? Yeah. This Wale album, man.
Yeah?
Yeah. It's a good album.
Okay, so say it again for me again.
So Wale, and I didn't name mine in order, but just the ones that I had. So this Wale album, Everything Is a Lot. I got Life Is Beautiful in there. I got Alfredo 2.
Mm-hmm.
I got Hills Have Eyes, and which one?
Hills Have Eyes 2.
And Hills Have Eyes 2.
Okay.
Yeah. And
damn, you don't gotta Let God Sort Him Out?
Oh, and Let God Sort Him Out.
I'm about to say,
that was
okay.
The other one, yeah.
Okay.
So no particular order, but that's my 5.
Okay, cool. That Wale album is really good.
Yeah.
I guess like I will put that in my top 10, but I guess for like I was listening to the Wale album and the De La Soul albums at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
And I was proud of Wale, but I was prouder of De La Soul.
Yeah. No, that makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense because De La Soul's been around for so long.
Yeah.
And to see them like rap out the year this strong.
Yeah.
It's pretty impressive.
Yeah, bro. Like I was just like, damn, man. You know, like I was like, damn, I wasn't familiar with y'all game like this. I didn't think that they can come with something so strong.
Pretty impressive. And I think as an honorable mention, I can put Earl in there. I did like that one, and I just like how nostalgic that Metro album was.
I was about to say, yo, like I know you are not, as much as you champion that project.
Yeah. I gotta put that in there somewhere.
Okay.
And then Jid too.
Yeah, Jid did his thing, man.
Jid did his thing. Jid really did his thing.
Yeah, man. But you know, me and the YNs, you know, we rocking the Playboy Cardi.
Word.
You know? All right. So last 2 topics on the docket before we start the episode.
Yeah.
John Cena is retiring.
Mm-hmm.
This will air before his last match.
Shout out to my boy Esco. He went and saw him last time at the Garden.
Oh, nice.
His last
I
show.
saw him at SummerSlam this summer.
Yeah.
And like he lost to Cody Rhodes. That was dope. Like getting to see John Cena.
Mm-hmm.
Like I've seen John Cena like when he returned a few other times, but like knowing like, oh, like this is it. And like it's pretty cool because like I got to see Kobe Bryant's last basketball game at Madison Square Garden.
Oh, fire!
I
didn't realize that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because he didn't announce he was retiring yet.
Okay.
So me and Ray B went.
Okay.
So we went and like we watched the game and like Kristaps Porzingis got hurt in that game too. But like we went and like had a good time, and then like a couple weeks later, like Kobe announced he was retiring. But that was dope. So like seeing like John Cena like go on his press run and like kind of like be like the class act that he is, him trying to elevate young talent, I think is like really cool. And like just knowing like the person that he is, like there's a lot of things that like he does where like he's trying his best to give back to the fans and give back to like the business that has given him so much. It's just really cool. Like even like in his matches, like he does like other wrestlers moves that like he wrestled with, like to pay homage to them. Like even wrestlers that's not in the company no more. Like Edge is no longer in WWE, but like they had like a big rivalry. So seeing him like do that, like I'm just like, damn. Like
he doesn't get it wrong, yo.
Yeah, like he's a good he's a good dude. And like I remember when he first came onto the scene, I hated John Cena. Because I was just like, yo, who is like Vince McMahon got a lot of fucking nerve making a white 50 Cent. I was pissed. But as time went on, like, you know, you understand, like, okay, like, you know, it's a means to an end, like it happens, like whatever. Like, and like seeing like the kind of person that he is, like how he goes about things and like how he like owns up to shit. Like even when people ask him like, you know, what are your thoughts on Vince McMahon? Like he's honest. He's like, yo, it's fucked up what he did, but like the man changed my life and I love him. And you know, like some people be like, nah, fuck that, you gotta hold a person accountable. But I'm like, I don't think that John doesn't hold Vince accountable, but he's not gonna acknowledge that. Like he probably would have like just been like working at a gym or like just been like some nobody without Vince. So I'm like,
he took a chance on him.
Right. So I can understand and respect how like he can be like, yo, what I think he did was really bad, but I really love that guy. I'm like, okay, cool. Like I get that. So, you know, so now we know who his final opponent is gonna be. His final opponent will be Gunther. Gunther is the guy that kind of looks like he's like a Nazi, but he's not a Nazi. He's not a Nazi. He's just German.
He's definitely gonna lose.
I don't know. Because all right, so here's my thing, right? Like Gunther winning, right, being the man that because he also retired Bill Goldberg. So like, does it really benefit him to defeat John Cena, or like does John Cena go out on a high winning against him, or like do they do some random shit where they bring The Rock back to like, you know, DQ the match, so then like, you know, like neither guy loses and it just stays strong. But like, yeah, you can see, right? Like, well, that's how he used to look. So now he's like in great shape. Like he's like, so he changed. He used to be like this really fat guy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's how he looks now. Yeah. So he's a ring general. So like that's why like, some people be like, yo, like I think he's supposed to be like a Nazi, and I'm like, nah, he's not a Nazi. He's just German. But yeah, like I'm really excited to see like how they're gonna play this matchup, because Gunther's gonna beat the dog shit out of John Cena. Like he is, like Gunther is basically like a more stoic like Brock Lesnar.
Wow, and he's young.
Oh yeah,
he's 38 years old.
Yeah, man, he's a young dude. Like he really came up. He went from being like this fat guy. He changed his whole body and everything. So I'm just really excited. This was a good year. You know, John Cena turned heel. Like there's so many things that like happened in this year, and it's funny how like things happen fast in wrestling. Like John Cena was a heel, and then he wasn't a heel, and people were mad. And like now we don't care. We just want to cheer him on.
Just want to have a good send off. Yeah.
So you know, man. I'm not mad at that, man. Like I
will be tuned in. When is his last match?
Oh, it's next Saturday.
Oh shit.
Yeah, man.
That shit came fast.
Yeah, it's gonna be a Saturday night's main event. Okay, and let's see. Oh, last thing to talk about, 2 new trailers came out this week for 2 shows that we both really like.
Yeah.
The Boys and Paradise. Which one you want to talk about first?
So we can talk. Damn, I didn't watch The Boys one.
Okay, so we don't got to talk about The Boys.
We can talk. We could talk about Paradise. Because like I said earlier with the whole Hulu Disney thing, but what I am looking forward to is seeing him going after his wife, because that's going to be a main plot point.
His wife pissed me off. I feel like he shouldn't have went after her.
Yeah,
he should have just kept Bone and Shorty that was in the bubble.
That's gonna, she was,
she was all right.
Yeah, she was all right. But that's gonna be a main plot point. But obviously, as we know with Paradise, there's always some type of twisted ass thing that happens.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited to see it. I don't know how this season is gonna go, but the first season, fucking right away,
I would have fucking stayed, bro.
Man, you would have stayed in the bubble?
Yeah, fuck it.
I don't know, man. If I know that my wife is out there, that shit would tear me up, man. I would have to go.
I'll tell you something. Man. If I tell Sarah ass, hey, I don't think you should be, you know, working 800 miles away from me, something's gonna happen. I don't know what, but the president told me.
President told me something gonna happen.
President told me something gonna happen. You should be close. Now, she still continue to do that shit? Come on, man.
It's like, yo, these cars just played themselves.
Yeah, man. Hey, man. Hey, man. I told you listen to me, man.
Now I'm here with this fine ass girl. We grocery shopping every day.
Yeah, man. You know, like you know.
We chilling.
Hey,
See, look at that.
You find me.
You did that. Find your way back.
Yeah. I'm just playing. I'm just playing. I'm just playing, y'all. I'm just kidding. I'm just joking.
Man. But yeah, no, I'm looking forward to it. And regardless on whether or not I've seen the boys trailer or not, it's gonna be fire. I already know that. I didn't really. How was Gen V? I didn't even watch it.
Gen V was good. You should binge it and watch it. There's certain points in there where you're just like, all right, this is overkill. Like I feel like they could have expanded on more characters, but like I enjoyed it. Like I thought the plot twist. There's a plot twist with the villain.
Yeah.
And it and it's like, yo, like I did not see that coming. Like so that was pretty good.
All right, yeah, I'm gonna check it out. Because I did like the previous season. This is their second season.
This is second season. Okay. Yep.
Yeah, so I'm
now it's leading right into the boys, but we'll talk about that another time. But yeah, let's get into
started. This album then, huh?
Yes.
And shit. Well, coming off of talking about wrestling, this is one of like the day one fans of that lore of wrestling. Has his own tournament to even celebrate it. This guy hails from the blog era. He's been able to, even though hip hop has seen so many faces during the era that he came, he's been able to cultivate like a fan base that's loyal to his sound. From the sneakerheads to the people that are into wrestling, like I mentioned, to the poets and whatever. I feel like this guy could have existed in that neo soul era.
Absolutely.
Music.
He could have absolutely been a Soulquarian.
Yeah, for sure. And we're talking about Wale. Wale has lived so many lives in this space. And like I said, he's been able to be loyal to his fan base, he didn't really venture out as much. I feel like when he first came onto the scene, he did, because his first single was with Lady Gaga, but he found quickly like what worked for him, and he stuck to that, and made new fans along the way. So this album that we're getting into is Ambition. This album was like his quote unquote crossover only because he got a major deal. He was with under Rick Ross's Maybach Music group imprint. And a lot of Wale loyalists at the time, I remember, didn't really like that. They were like, Rick Ross, that's too commercial. It's going to interrupt his sound and this and that. And so Ambition came out at a time where Wale was fighting for his respect in real time. Industry wasn't fully sold on him after Attention Deficit, which was his debut. DC felt like he drifted. Critics were more interested in the narrative around him than the work. So he did what most greats do, when the outside noise gets too loud, he locked in, sharpened a pen, bet on himself. And when this album came out, I think on the surface, it got some mixed reviews, but I think it birthed one of his classic singles, which is Lotus Flower Bomb.
Yep.
And, I think from there, Lotus Flower Bomb is what helped give Wale his sound of like being the go-to for R&B and rap collabs, and like he just had a way of doing it that like of course it existed before him, but nobody really did it like him.
Yeah, he did it very well.
Yeah.
And sorry to cut you off. Wale is an enigma to me, because like for a person to be so talented, to be so in tune with like rhythm and like making music and songs, I was very like kind of like thrown off like at how like pretty much like certain people didn't like take to him. And like sometimes I wonder like, was he too talented? I that's the only way I can look at it. Like I'm like, yo, he has to, like some artists like they focus on one thing. And I think for Wale, like he was too talented too early. Like he showed too much. He showed his hand too early. Like I think like he should have waited to like show like his layers of like what he can do. Because take somebody, and I'm not calling him a young Andre 3000, but when we first met Andre 3000, like we was like, all right, introspective, lyrical guy, and then like as their status grew, like we saw more of him. Well, Wale, like we kind of like got a lot of that stuff early, like of like where he can go with it, and I think like people couldn't like pigeonhole him in one thing or like what they thought of him, and I think that just made it harder for him to like break through, because people didn't know what to make of him early on.
I agree. I think with this album, like I said, it came out in what was that, 2011, November 1st, 2011. So we're just right off of the anniversary of that release. It had some big time producers on here. You had Lex Luger, you had T Minus, The Business. Wonder what happened to The Business. DJ Tonk and Diplo was on here.
Right.
Got guest appearances from Rick Ross, of course, Lloyd, Neo, Big Sean, Miguel, Meek Mill, Kid Cudi, and Jeremiah.
Right.
And the album was supported by 6 singles. That Way, which was also on an MMG compilation album, the self-made album. And the album debuted at number 2, selling 164,000 copies. So it was pretty successful, and it went on to be certified gold.
Right. And like of his freshman class, like he actually is the most successful and the most relevant, right? Because you got to think he was on that cover with B.O.B., Currency, Asher Roth, and Charles Hamilton. I think when I first saw that cover, I definitely thought Asher Roth and B.O.B. would still be here right now.
I thought Asher Roth would definitely still be here because, he's white.
Right.
And so I thought he would get the extra push, but he became more of a recluse.
Yeah. It seemed like fame just wasn't for him.
Yeah.
And B.O.B., I don't have a good answer about what happened with B.O.B.
Yeah, because he had some big songs.
Yeah.
He had some really big songs, and then he was a flat earther.
That's what happened. Okay, there you go. That answers my question.
Yeah, he was a flat earther.
But like it just became like that, and then it like, okay, so like of his freshman class, like, his longevity still proved it, right? But like I wrote some things down like where I was like, damn, Wale probably got like the label like where he was lyrical, but he wasn't framed as a lyricist. He made hits, but he wasn't labeled a hit maker. He had personality, but people made fun of his sensitivity.
Yeah.
And because he responded to criticism openly, people treated him like the emotional one. And like, and then like, he wrote poetry and things like that. Like they basically like nonstop kind of like, kind of like made him like the poster child of that. Like I forgot who made the joke like of like, bring back Def Poetry Jam for Wale or something like that. I forgot like people making like fun of him.
Yeah, remember that time when he was at a wrestling show and they said, one of the announcers said something about him and he went back there in the middle of the show.
Was it a wrestling show?
I thought it was wrestling.
It wasn't wrestling. Oh, I know exactly what you're talking about. It was like it was like it was a Wizards game.
Okay.
And somehow he heard the broadcast. I don't know if he was in the booth or whatever, but he heard the broadcast.
Went back there.
And he approached homie.
Yeah.
In the middle of the game.
Middle of it. And everybody was like, Wale's so emotional. But it's like, yo, when you think about that, it's like, yo, what would you do? What would you do? You hear somebody talking shit about you and you within earshot of it.
Yeah, I get it. It's just one of those things where like, and also like, I don't think that they would do that to other rappers that he felt like he was on their level, whatever like that. Because
he's just had a lot of things that he's reacted to in a bad way, and it's made people look at him a little different. Like even after this album came out on, I think it was, which album was it? The Gifted, I think.
Yeah.
And it wasn't ranked the way that he thought it should be. And he called Complex.
Well, yeah, because they kind of, like they were shitting on him. And I guess he was trying to build, like, this is when like I learned that like artists build relationships with publications. And he pretty much like pulled the curtain back.
Yeah.
And like let it be known, like, yo, like we have a relationship, we have a rapport. Like they're not supposed to like do this. Like they know that this can like make people think that like my shit sucks.
Yeah.
Or whatever like that. But they promote Cudi all
I was just
long.
about to say that's what made me realize that they have relationships with publications, because the way that they used to pump Cudi back then.
Yeah.
I was like, bro, he hasn't dropped anything in forever and he's on the cover of Yacht magazine. Like, what the fuck is this? You know?
And that was like something that was like really intriguing to me. Like, oh, like this is what they do, like with certain artists, and there's certain artists where it's just undeniable. Like maybe like their team is like really good at public relations, or like they have like a deal. And then some artists are just like darlings, and like they can just charm everybody at the office, or like kind of do that.
Yeah.
And like it was like, oh wow, like that was something that like I thought like was. It just fascinated me to like learn that, like, oh shit, like, yeah, you can have a great album, you can have a great song, but like if that publication don't fuck with you, it don't matter.
Curtains. Yeah, that's true. But all right, so like we said, he joined MMG, which I remember specifically. I remember 600 Benz was the first song that came out, and that was on a self-made compilation, the MMG joint. And that was like Wale's like official stamp of like, yo, he's MMG now. And I remember they played it on the radio. Damn, I'm not, yeah, this like memory unlocked, but they played it on the radio and they had people call to react to it because they were like, yo, Wale is on MMG now. This is his first single with them. And they were like, yo, what's your reaction to this? And it was like, it's cool. I don't know about Wale being on MMG. That interferes with his sound. I don't really like it, whatever. And then other people would be like, yo, this is not Wale. You know, they took a few calls. It was like, this is not Wale. This is not his sound. He shouldn't be with Rick Ross. Like, what is this? You know, because they thought that he would lose the essence of like that go-go sound that he was like helping put up, you know, for DC. And he didn't lose that sound. You know, when you listen to this album, it has all of those remnants on here. You know, like he has some real standouts on here. When I was revisiting this album, and I'm like, damn, like he got some shit on here. Some of Wale's best songs, in my opinion, are on this album.
Yeah. But I will be honest, like Rick Ross does have like an ear for music and stuff like that. But I really would like to understand like why, like what was the issue with like somebody like Kanye West or Pharrell kind of like bringing him in, especially Pharrell because DMV area. Like I like that never makes sense to me. Like why not? Like because with Pharrell he wouldn't have been pigeonholed. He would have been able to make whatever kind of music. I understand why people had that vision because they were just like, all right, Meek Mill and Rick Ross makes sense. Why does Wale make sense? And then like you know Wale letting me know like, well I'm from DC, like it's dangerous there. Like I see a lot of that shit as well. But I just think like prime example, if Nas would have had Mass Appeal at that time, it would have made sense to people.
Yeah.
Like you know like it just I just think that him and Ross, because their careers, like the beginning of their careers were so close together, like people looked at it like, yo, you basically signing with your peer. You're not signing with somebody that's like that further along than you in the industry. But a lot of people don't know that like Rick Ross was like a ghostwriter and like, has been in the music industry for a very long time.
But what I liked about the pairing between him and Ross was that it gave him more exposure because Ross was on fire at the time. But then two, it didn't seem like Ross interrupted his sound. It really just let him do it. And that's what I used to like about Ross back then, was that like when he signed or aligned with somebody, he didn't really interfere with what they was doing. At least that's what it seemed like. Like Wale didn't turn into a street rapper when he signed.
Nah, he stayed.
That's what people was afraid of, I gotta say.
Right, yeah, they thought he was going to start talking about shooting and killing people.
Yeah, and he didn't. Nah. And like this album is kind of evident of that. Like he still kept, you know, the first single being Lotus Flower Bomb spoke to that. You know, like it was still his sound. He made a song that like really, it's a classic song in my opinion. Like
absolutely, that's an amazing song. I think that and it's funny because at that time, like obviously, like you know, artists can work with anybody, but I thought like, oh shit, I thought Miguel and J. Cole were going to be paired together a lot more because they had the same management. Right, but like you know, I think Wale I just think that Wale is more vulnerable of an artist, so it works. But to get back to Ross, like there's a quote where Ross told Wale like, "You're a star, act like one." And like I think that like kind of like gave him the confidence that he needed. So that's why I'll say, okay, cool. I think Ross kind of benefited from being on that label because like he got, you know, the stamp of approval, like on that kind of level. Like that goes a long way when somebody tells you something like that, you know, like and they're a successful multi-millionaire or whatever. And like he can go and rub arms with like Jay-Z and stuff like that and like kind of like talk to him on like the same level. So I get that.
All right. So the album kicks off with Don't Hold Your Applause. It was produced by Tone P, Chris Bars. In my opinion, it's a strong opening. I heard everything y'all said and I'm still here. That's a big statement for him. You know, I think what Wale did with this album was he had a lot to get off his chest. It was like he took what people said and the way that he moved from there, he refined it because attention deficit, even though, because we reviewed that on here and we all agreed that it wasn't a bad album. I think the time frame of it just wasn't the best time frame. And it was like, yo, who is this dude out of DC working with Lady Gaga out the gate right now? Like it's just, and Lady Gaga wasn't even a big name yet.
Right, she was on the come up, right? Because I think Poker Face had just dropped, and like so it was on the rise.
And then like it became her star she just skyrocketed, and then he was still kind of on the come up. It put him in this weird spot because it was like she kind of just trampolined over everything, you know.
I just think that Mark Ronson just didn't know what to do with a rapper.
That's fair.
Yeah. I just think, Mark Ronson didn't know what to do with a rapper. Like, I think he liked Wale and everything like that. His intentions were great. But I think he didn't know what to do. But it's crazy, though, because he was at Interscope. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I was just like, damn, like, Dre, nobody could have just took him, like, you know what I'm saying? And just let him do what he's doing or whatever like that. But, you know, it happens.
He always raps with, like, you know, there's this chip on his shoulder, but he's nice. Like, everybody knows Wale is nice. And I think shout out to Rob, our good friend Rob, who's been a Wale fan.
Your good friend.
Your good friend too. But he's a Wale, I wouldn't say Wale apologist, but he's a Wale super fan.
Yeah.
And you know, I think Wale's fans really just understand, kind of like Kanye loyalists, like it's like they could see through the bullshit of like him getting in his own way and really know what he means.
Yeah.
You know, when you're fans of people like that, it's like, it could come off like you're making excuses for them, but it's like, nah, I'm just really tapped into what he really means. You know, like I know what he means. And I think Wale has a fan base like that, for sure. There's certain people that are Wale fans that really, really feel like they understand him on a deeper level. But after that, because this album kicks off pretty solid. Double M Genius,
braggadocious, MMV style flex. You know, the first hint that he feels, you know, at home with Ross. That's definitely what that is for me.
Yeah. The confidence is crazy. This is like his celebratory moment because it leads right into Miami Nights, which is also like, it feels triumphant. It's like, I'm about to get everything out of this alignment, out of this deal. It feels like a big moment.
Right.
You know, and it keeps going too. And not to move too fast, but Legendary is one of my favorite Wale songs ever.
I call it an underdog anthem.
Yeah. And it's produced by DJ Tone. The drums on that shit, like top of the dome fitting on them lyrics. Like, it's just so like
them Tone drums, man.
Man, I miss hearing DJ Tone. I know he's still around, he's still doing his thing, but you know, that T.I. era was special for me too, with DJ Tone.
Oh, tell me about it.
But yeah, Legendary feels boisterous. It's a moment. It feels like it could have been, I want to say it was an NBA Finals song at one point.
I think so. I think you're right.
I think it was. Yeah.
I think you're right.
Yeah. And rightfully so, man. It just feels like such a boisterous moment. And then of course we lead into the single, which is Lotus Flower Bomb featuring Miguel.
Classic rap and R&B collab.
Record. Remember when that thing happened between him and Kai Cenat, where Kai didn't know who he was?
Right.
And then did you ever see the follow-up to that? Kai
he realized that he heard that song.
Yeah, and he plays this song and he was like, man. He was like, oh, I've heard this song. And he like starts like vibing to it. And I'm like, yeah, man, cut Kai some slack, bro. He's mad young, one. And two, it's like Wale is like in this in-between. It made me realize where Wale is too as an artist, where like he's in this in-between space where I wouldn't quite acknowledge him as a legacy act per se, but he's also still current. I don't know, but also just not as consistent.
He didn't become as big as his peers. He's not as big as Cole, Drake, Kendrick, Future, or Cudi.
Yeah.
So a lot of songs,
Kai would absolutely know all those people.
Right. So and for me, it was hard to understand that, truthfully, but also like I've been around since he came out, and when even with like older artists when I was a kid, like music was explained to me, maybe like, you know what I'm saying, like he might have heard songs, but it's not, his mom was like, that's Wale. Or that's you know what I'm saying? Like every kid has their different experiences, but like I know like a lot of my music discovery was on Sundays when my mom would clean. So like I would be like, oh, what song is this? Or who's this? Or what's their name? Or sometimes my mom would just yell out their fucking name. Temptations, y'all better go ahead. Shit like that.
Yeah, shit like that.
So, that maybe that's changed. Maybe that recipe has been lost for the new generation.
I think it has. So even to your point of bringing that up, I think I think a lot of the new generation with them not knowing music, I think our generation just gets upset at them.
Right.
Like, yo, how you don't know this? But it's like, damn, we really just have to pass this down. That's the only way they're gonna know. We grew up not knowing a lot of things, but it's like, you know, I grew up with my mom using certain music as cleanup music. So like she would play Brandy's first and second album and I knew it was time to clean. Or she would play Monica Before You Walk Out of My Life, or, you know, Angel of Mine. Like she played the first album and the second album too. It was like cleanup music at Tony Braxton's first album, and like she would tell me about who these people are. And I don't think that's happening for the younger generation.
Right, 100% right.
We're just, because the millennials, like we're stuck in our way of like what we like, and we just hold it close. And it's like, yeah, find your own shit. Like find what you like. But yeah, there's a separation there. For sure.
Yeah, it be happening, man.
Yeah.
So let's see. The next song is Chain Music.
Mm-hmm.
You know, gave it that swagger and that bounce, you know, Wale, you know, talking about gear and fashion, something that like he's very much like, you know, entrenched in that culture as well.
Mm-hmm.
Like even to the point of like where like he gets to like premiere fucking sneakers for Nike and shit like that. Or like he helped make, there's two shoes that I give him credit for making popular, and that's the Ant-Man's. I think that the Ant-Man ones were popular sneakers, but like the way that he was styling them and showing people how to wear a basketball shoe was like, I give him all the credit for that. And then those new GT Forces that Nike has coming out that look like a hybrid of Hyper Dunks and Foam Posite.
Oh yeah.
That he wore. Like he basically he puts on a masterclass of how to style certain outfits. And I think that's a talent. Because some people can't pull it off. Like I remember, like there's certain basketball sneakers that like are coming out that I want to get, and I'm just like, I don't feel like wearing sweatpants every day.
Or yeah. Because that's what it goes with sometimes. Yeah. That's what it goes with best. Yeah, no, chain music is a great example of how Wale balances his like his appeal as like this guy that's like entrenched in like poetry type music, with, like being out there like on the street level, but like not. There's like people that exist in that plane with him, like a Big Sean, or, you know, but they don't rap about shooting and gangbanging and nothing like that. If they rap about that, the extent of it would be, yeah, I got some niggas that'll do this.
Right.
You know, but, and then, which is also funny enough how Drake started out.
Right.
Like, yeah, my niggas will do this and that. I got people that'll do this.
Right. So a lot of shit that Drake switched up.
Yeah, Drake switched up on that, but I think that's just kind of like the price of fame or where he's at. But chain music is a great example of that. And then we talked about Kid Cudi and
Focus.
He's featured on Focus.
That shit went platinum for me on my iPod. I wish you remember the night I lost my iPod?
Nah.
I was dealing with a breakup, child, and I went out one night to apartment 78 our old hangout spot.
Oh, that was the time you lost it?
Yeah. And I told Regg, I'm getting fucked up tonight.
Oh yeah. Damn, I didn't know you lost it that night. I remember when I lost my iPod. It was there.
I was there when you lost your iPod?
Yeah, we went to go see Dave Chappelle at Radio City.
You lost it that night?
Yeah, iPod Classic.
Bro, I really wish I still had my iPod Classic. Yeah. Because I had a lot of music on there. I had a lot of movies on there. Like, but long story short, if whoever has it, like, and because on the iPod I could tell you how much you played it, that song and Kanye West is Stronger got played a lot.
Man, what a time, bro.
Yeah, man. I think I'm gonna put that on my I'm gonna ask somebody to buy me an iPod Classic.
Yo, and they're not going for bad pricing right now. I think you could find a good one untouched on eBay, like the YouTube version. Remember the YouTube version?
Yeah.
With like the red on a dial? It's like
I think it's crazy that like, I'm gonna be honest with you. I think it's crazy that Apple like doesn't like sell them like still. Like I think that
I think it's just Apple don't want people to be nostalgic with technology. I notice.
Yeah,
like,
they're forward thinking. Yeah, they want you to move on.
It's like remember when they took away the disk drive? I was like, what the fuck we gonna do without that?
Right.
And like literally, I was like, what? How am I gonna not put a CD in here? I just couldn't.
I think I still have an old MacBook with a disk drive.
Yeah.
I just haven't like opened it or charged it in years.
They took that shit away and just moved on.
Yeah.
And
they were like, CDs are done.
Yeah. And we was like, okay. And we just moved on. But yeah, they don't want people to be, they took away iPod touches, all of that shit. That shit is gone.
Yeah, man.
Because they're like, yo, your phone could do that.
Yeah.
And we're going to raise storage. So if you need more storage, then get that.
Yeah. So
crazy.
All right, what we got? Sabotage, I always said sound like some college radio shit.
I don't like the hook. My girl likes to sabotage. Yeah, I don't really like
it. This goes like the next. So these two songs that are coming up. So Sabotage and the White Linen.
White Linen hits. You don't like White Linen?
Nah.
That beat is so crazy.
Neo annoys the shit out of me. I don't know if I ever told you that.
All right, well, if he annoys you, he's all over this.
Yeah.
But I like this one. This is my shit.
No. I get through these. I get through these so fast to get to Slight Work.
Oh yeah. Okay, so then let's get to Slight Work. Slight Work feels good. That's produced by Diplo.
Bro.
Big Sean's flow. Big Sean has like 5 different flows on that song.
Oh yeah, kills it
on that verse.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Every once in a while, I remember like one time me and Regg were having like a debate, and like I was really, really trying to champion ASAP Rocky, and I said to him, I was like, yo, ASAP Rocky got a better flow than Big Sean, and like Regg was so floored, like so. Whenever like if Regg says like if somebody says something to me that like I can't believe, like I can't stop talking. Like I'm like, you don't believe that. Like I'll keep going. Regg will just stop talking to you. Regg won't entertain it. Regg will be like, that's what you think? Like he'll say that, and then you be like, yeah, that's what. Yeah, okay. Like and like I'll never forget that conversation because like and I think I was I'll tell you what I was wrong in. I like A$AP Rocky's confidence. How he raps, and
he has wrestler confidence.
Yeah, like yes, he has wrestler confidence. Like he has the belt, he's the champion, he's walking around with it. Versus him having flow. Big Sean, you just put him on certain like it's just a certain cadences, the way pockets that he can get into that other rappers just can't. I feel like I feel like Big Sean is in Guinness World Book of World Records for something with being able to switch up his rap flow and shit like that.
Bro, his flows are ridiculous.
Very, 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 very good. Like I really think that I think it was really dope that like they complimented each other so much, and I think that they probably should do more work together.
Agreed. And just to, I think, I was watching. What was I watching? There was a Miguel interview fairly recently where he talked about his era of artists and like people that came out around that time, and he was like, yeah, I think he was talking about specifically R&B, but I think it applies to this era of rappers too. But basically, he was talking about how his era, they don't really work together, and he would like that. So like, if you think about his era was like Frank Ocean and him and there was one other like big wig, and he was like, yeah, like I feel like to really get the extension of how great this era is, or to keep it evergreen, we got to work together. And I think the same thing applies for Big Sean, Wale, Cudi. They need to like just work together more.
Yeah, everybody was kind of like stuck in their bubbles, and like I think that because a lot of artists just don't have to move to New York or LA and stuff like that, like to record or get things on. Say just stay like wherever the fuck they want to be at and just email the music over. And I think that kind of killed things.
Yeah,
I agree.
I think separately, they're all on their own path, which is fine, but it's like you got to come back and just really grasp that y'all came up together. So where that takes us into Ambition.
Right.
Ambition features Meek Mill and Rick Ross. This was a big deal when it came out.
Oh yeah.
This was like the official sampling because all 3 of them are working
right.
Together.
All 3 of them working together. I feel like this was kind of like the mission statement of MMG and what they were like out to do. I think that a lot of stuff got lost in the sauce, and I think it was the reason why I really think that MMG didn't succeed is because there wasn't enough separation with like the status, because Meek Mill and Wale were both a hit away from being as big an artist as Rick Ross. And I think sometimes when that happens, or being just as talented in certain aspects, or being as popular, and I think sometimes when that happens, like it kind of like doesn't, you don't know who's who. Like I think like it just like in G Unit, it's 50 Cent. That's it. Like it's 50 Cent. Like he's the big dog. You won't outshine the master. At Rockefeller, it was Jay-Z. At Good
Oh, I see
Music, it
what you're
was
saying.
Kanye. Like,
it's like, yeah.
like it's not happening. But like I definitely think that like Wale and Meek were like a hit away
They
or
all
something.
were like
Yeah.
this.
Right.
Yeah.
Like I know some people be like, no, it was Ross all day, but I guarantee I really think that like Meek had the potential to kind of get to that level. He just messed up with the whole Drake beef.
Mm-hmm.
But he was there.
But I think, and even thinking about it, I don't know. Wale, do you think Wale has bigger songs than Ross? Like,
Nah, because Ross got Aston Martin music.
okay.
That
Wale, but Wale got like wedding songs.
No, okay. Well, I like he absolutely has wedding song. I guess I was thinking in the literal sense because like that, like Aston Martin music, like was like it was like winning awards and stuff like that. I think Bad did really well for Wale.
Yeah, Bad did good for him, and the drink that he got with Usher.
Right, the matrimony. The matrimony is gonna be played at my wedding.
Yeah,
but it's something that like I guess I'll have to do more research, but I just feel like like I kind of think that like they were there. Like I don't understand how the matrimony was like. Come on, like you got fuck. Like I don't even understand that. I think that's the label's fault.
Yeah,
the matrimony should have been a way bigger. The album about nothing should have been. That's a whole nother conversation. Don't even get me started on that.
It's a big song, but even to that point, right, that we're even having that conversation of like whether or not he had a bigger song, there was never that type of question for like 50 Cent and G Unit.
Yeah, you wasn't asking that. You wasn't asking, yo, do you think
all fall in line?
All fall in line. Yeah, like it wasn't like a debate or anything like that. I don't like. And by the time Kanye became prominent at Rockefeller, like Jay-Z was the president of the like. It just it just had the same
it's
air.
Like, whoa, now.
Yeah.
Let me go one step above.
Right.
So
like
you
it
know
was,
what this is.
Right. Exactly. It's one of those things. Like Jay-Z's still the boss. Like, so it's just one of those, like that kind of situation.
Well, Ambition wasn't necessary, right? But and then that takes us into Illest Bitch, which was produced by The Business, and some co-production on there from Terrace Martin, actually.
I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the storytelling. I could see why like even like the name, it was just like okay, Wale.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Illest Bitch is just not not when you go on to have a incredible song like Bad. You look at that like whatever. And then No Days Off. No Days Off is another staple on this album for me.
That was definitely a song I played before I walking into work, motivate myself.
Yeah, No Days Off, man. A lot of people were saying No Days Off around this time too. Hashtag No Days Off. Or Team No Sleep. Remember that shit?
Oh yeah.
Team No Sleep. It's a phrase. What was we doing ourselves?
Right.
And then That Way. Oh, sorry. DC or Nothing. It's produced by Tone P. What you think of that one?
Cool. Repping the home team.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah. This is when the album starts seeing its way out.
Right.
Because after DC or Nothing, you got That Way with Jeremiah and Rick Ross, which is a classic in my opinion. Produced by Lex Luger. Like I said at the top of this show, it was one of the standouts on the Self-Made album, which led into this album's release. Yeah, I think this is great. It's Jeremiah has such an interesting career to me.
Yeah.
Birthday Sex came out in like 2008, bro. And he's been around almost 20 years.
Yeah, industry dudes like him, though.
Yeah, like he has one album.
Yeah.
He has one album, one full-length album. And he's been able to just stick around. He's a hook guy, comes out, does his thing. I think the most recent thing he's on Game's newest album. He be on shit.
Yeah, he's just one of them niggas that him and BJ's a Chicago kid.
Yeah. And even BJ dropped the album like 2 years ago, I'm gonna say.
Yeah.
It was pretty good. But yeah, he is in that vein. Okay. So 15 tracks, Ambition. 2011, you fast forward to now, Wale got a new album out that people really, really seem to like. And it's starting a lot of good conversations for Wale again. But where do you rank this up? How do you have this album? What's your verdict?
So this is a top 3 Wale album for me. I definitely think that this is like one of his 3 best albums. I won't go through the whole ranking thing, anything like that, guys. But this project I give a 3.5 out of 5 waffles. And for the simple fact that like I think that like what he set out to do, he did. Like basically to like, establish himself as an artist, show that he's a hit maker, show that like he is capable of making an album with depth and showing like all the sides of him that he wants to show. He was able to stand toe to toe with some of the best rap lyricists that he could like get next to for this album, and like his art, like, and also show that like he can like cater to like women in these songs. So it kind of just like worked out in his favor in that sense. And I was just like, all right, cool. Like, you know, he had like he did what needed to be done to build, like, lay down the foundation for his career to span this far now. He's approaching 20 years in the game. So I think that that's great. Like, because like there are some artists who, like, you know, that were on the freshman cover with him that got one album and that's it.
Yeah.
Or just never got started. Like, if you would have told me back at that time that Charles Hamilton wasn't going to be like one of the biggest stars of the next Kanye West.
Brooklyn Girls, I ran that song.
Yeah, man. You know, like you wouldn't have been able to tell me that. Like, that was just something where I think, you know, Wale kind of like separated himself from like just being a blog era rapper and like being pigeonholed in that, like being stuck with the cool kids. No disrespect, I love the cool kids. I love Sir Mikey Rocks and I forgot all homies' other name, but I love the cool kids. But I'm like, he could have been left in that era and like pigeonholed in that, and he wasn't. Like, so I think that's
he kept going, man, and he stayed true to his sound and elevated. I think I can comfortably give this album, I want to also say a 3.5.
Okay, we agree. Good.
3.5 is a comfort. It's a comfortable spot for this album to exist. 3.5 out of 5. I think he hit the mark with this album for sure. Okay. I think he showed he didn't really move too far away from his sound. I think he amplified his sound. I think with signing with Warner Brothers and under MMG, I think he was able to. Warner Brothers is such a trigger word these days too.
Yeah, Warner Brothers,
right? I think he was able to really, really just pour money into the backing. Like, he got some really great features on this album, but none of them seem out of place. You know, like it makes sense for him to work with Big Sean. It makes sense for him to work with Kid Cudi, like Ross, Meek Mill. You know, those are label mates. So like, he really just zoomed in on like what he was trying to do, and he did it. And I think this album is solid and his discography, and it gets forgotten about, I think.
It does. You know? Well, most people hail Ambition as Wale's best album.
Really?
They do. Yeah. Okay. Like when I talk to people, like LaShawn thinks that. So when I went for Wale's new project, a few people were saying that this is Wale's best album, and LaShawn felt very offended by them saying that.
Yeah. Shout out to my boy Vinny, actually, because he randomly FaceTimed me yesterday and was like, "Yo, what's up with you and Taurian?" And I was like, "What you mean?" And he was like, "Y'all haven't," because he's from Baltimore. So he's like, "Yo, y'all haven't talked about my DMV homie. Y'all haven't talked about the legend Wale and his new album, because I went to your page and I checked." And I was like,
tell him that's my fault. I'm actually meant to do a 60-second verdict, but I have not made the time to do that. I actually might still do it. Tell him I apologize.
I was like, "Yo, we're gonna talk." I was like, "Actually, we're gonna talk about Wale soon, and I'm gonna let you know." So yeah, this is your acknowledgement, Vinny, because we did in fact talk about Wale. But yeah, 3.5 out of 5, I think, is worth checking out. If you haven't checked this album out yet, highly recommend. If you have, if you visited lately, let us know your thoughts. I'm First Class Regg.
And I'm Taurian B.
And we're out of here, gang.
We'll catch you next time. Dun dun.